All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's time again for another episode of the Bill
Bert
Pod.
Cast.
And what are we talking about this time? Are we supposed to do like?
I'll tell you what I'd like to talk.
Wardrobe change.
You ready? I want to talk about things that are exclusive to LA, things that we have in LA that you'd love to see in other cities.
Okay.
So I'm going to start. Fruit vendors.
Bad pizza.
Bad pizza?
Yep.
LA's
People are too fat around the country, so if there was more bad pizza, maybe they wouldn't be as fat, and it wouldn't be like such a burden on the American.
So wait, do you think LA has bad pizza?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think LA's pizza is great.
Well, it's because you're from Florida. You don't know any better. Once you've gone to like pizza cities and had.
So top 5 pizza cities. New York, Chicago.
Oh, Jesus. I thought I was doing it.
Okay, go ahead. Top 5 pizza cities.
All right, New York, Chicago.
Yeah.
Boston.
Boston?
Yeah. Boston, really? This is what you get. The thing about Boston, you got to know somebody, though.
What do you mean?
New York, you can find them.
Yeah.
Everybody's always going there and making fucking shows about this, that, and the other, about New York, about these hidden gems, and then they're no longer hidden, right?
Yeah.
Boston, you got to, like, when I lived there, you had to know people. So basically what they had in Boston was they had those little bar-sized pizzas, the small ones. And every 2 to 3 towns, 4 towns, there would be a fucking bar that just had the best fucking pizza. And everybody grew up on it. So child sense memory, like, this pizza is the shit.
Yeah.
It blah, blah, blah. And there would be, like, battles, like, who had better pizza. And, like, you had loyalty to your pizza at your fucking bar. But then as you got older and you expanded and you traveled a little bit, like I went to one, I'm not going to name it because I don't want to blow it up even though people already know it. This fucking promoter was like, "You from Mass?" Yeah. He goes, "What's your pizza spot?" And I said, blah, blah. He goes, "It's okay. It's not as good as this other guy." I get the fuck. He goes, "Oh, the 2 brothers had a fight and they split." I go, "I didn't know that shit." And he goes, "Yeah." So he sent me just frozen ones out to LA and I stuck it in the oven at 400 degrees and it was even fucking unbelievable. I'm like, now, is this unbelievable because I'm in LA or I need to go there? And I went there and it was even fucking better.
Really? What's the name of that pizza spot?
Well, I'm not going to fucking say it.
Why not?
Why blow it up? What do you mean, why help it up? There's no place to sit in the fucking place.
Oh.
There's lines around the block.
Okay.
It's cash only. They're not paying taxes.
It's good we don't say their names.
Well, if I don't stop for cops on bikes, then I'm not going to fucking blow up their fucking not paying taxes. What are you doing here?
So in Boston, it's little pizza joints like that, and it's more neighborhoody?
Yeah, and then in the North End, there's the original Pizzeria Regina, I believe. There's a couple of spots in the North End, but you got to stay off Hanover Street. Hanover Street is the tourist street. That's the street where back in the day, if you weren't Italian, they let you walk down there and get your little fucking cannoli and get the fuck out of here. Do not go off on the side streets because we will kick the shit out of you. That's just how it was.
Okay, I want to talk. Okay,
So get off Hanover Street.
I want to talk pizza for a second, but I really
they're probably all gone at this point.
I really want to talk Boston, so don't let me forget to talk Boston, okay? Because I just was in Boston.
You do a lot of pointing.
Yeah, I know. I'm all over the place. Okay, sweet. Okay, then those are the top two more cities: Boston, Chicago, New York.
I had real good pizza in Philly, but Philly is so known for the cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Where else? It seems to be like where Italians settled and where they fucking,
Have you ever had pizza in Italy?
Where there's like humidity. Like there's enough humidity or whatever. Because there's been a bunch of Italian guys who fucking literally straight from Italy flew the water and brought the flour in. They do it out here and just something happens. Bread isn't as good out here.
Yeah.
Like Thai food's amazing. Mexican food's amazing. Burgers are amazing. Like whatever, steaks are amazing. Like I would say it's the cuisine as far as that goes is better than New York, which I never thought it would say that.
Our cuisine out here,
LA's like ridiculous.
Dude, I love you. We were talking about this the other day, but those little burger places.
Oh yeah.
What I love about LA is we've got a lot of just like a burger stand. There's one in the corner of like it's Riverside and Lancashire, I think, and it's just.
There's 3 burger places I want to take you.
Okay, what are they?
Okay, and we'll just work our way up. I'm not blowing them up.
Oh, okay.
I want to be able to go there and fucking, okay, there's the one, all right, that's the first one.
I know the one you talked about.
Then there's the second one, that's the second one, and then I take you to the third one, and that's the third one.
I remember
just
one
build
time.
them in fucking increments.
Have you had Tommy's Burgers? That's the one where they
No.
put chili on it. It's like a famous LA
I can't.
burger.
You know, the last time I had abs, my abs went away. I went into that fucking little streetcar right down the right next to the fucking saddle ranch, and I went in there.
I know that. Is that Carney's Deli?
Yeah, I went in there and I got chili cheese fries. Somebody goes, "You have to try this out." This is the last time I had abs till I was like 28. I was fucking ripped.
Yeah.
I was ripped. I was the fucking red ripped guy, right? And I did pull-ups, and I did the fucking
You did not,
fucking
yeah.
xylophone, and I fucking went in there.
I did these.
Yeah, and I did the fucking Stallones, right, hanging upside down. I did all of those, and then I went into that fucking streetcar thing, and someone goes, "Hey, you got to try out." Somebody fat told me this. You got to get the fucking, you got to get the chili cheese fries. It's an LA cuisine, and I got it. And and just my stomach just distended, and it never came back. It went back a little bit, but I never got it. It just, and then it is what it is now. I got the fucking roll here, man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, I'm getting rid of this stuff right now. I'm on a fucking insane diet.
I'm
looking at your Lucky Charms right now, and I'm laughing at them.
All right.
They don't have control over me anymore.
So places where Italians go. Okay, have you ever had pizza in Italy?
And I'll tell you, one of the best little Italy's I've been to, Joe Bartnick when he was in fucking Pittsburgh.
I was just about to say the
Fucking
Pittsburgh.
amazing.
Dude, the best. Pittsburgh's a great
Pittsburgh's
Italian
amazing.
scene.
Jersey's got some great pizza and just random fucking delis you go to. All that whole fucking tri-state area can be crazy as long as legit Italians.
Oh, dude, I had
It's over.
hardcore legit Italian when I was just in Jersey. Sbarro's?
You know it's legit when they have the cardboard shape of a pizza that they stick in it. That is fucking genius.
By the way, I do love that pizza. I love Sbarro's.
Well, because what it is, it's usually at an airport or you're usually shit-faced. That's the two times you run into Sbarro's.
Yeah.
Is it Sbarro's?
Sbarro's.
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 So when you go there, like you're in a fuck it mood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat myself.
I'm going to treat myself. You know what?
I'm gonna puke if I don't eat something and try to absorb the alcohol.
I have gone to a Sbarro's and gotten pizza and a chicken parm. Throwing the chicken parm on this pizza, just fucked it up.
Oof.
Oh,
I hope you didn't look at anybody while you were eating that.
That's when you say I've wasted all my good days, I go, those meals are the ones that I'll think of when they're like, all right, we're gonna start here and cut you open to your neck, and I'm like, why did I have to do that?
If I could give young people any advice, save up some good days for when you get older.
God.
You don't want to end up like us, where it's just like, I can't have any more fun or I'm gonna die.
No, right now I feel like I'm trying to log some good days so I can have log some healthy days where I can get good days in the future.
I don't know that if you can. You can't get it back.
Yeah, you can. That's why I run.
Huh?
That's why I run. If I run, my day is, I can wake up like
Bert?
this. What?
Bert,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get them back.
Yeah, I got them back.
Bert, you need to go vegan. When you turn 50, you got to go vegan.
I'll do it at 47.
50 to 60.
Okay.
If you just do
How
that.
long do you think I can go vegetarian?
I don't want to do that to you.
I could do it.
I know you could. I just don't. What the fuck what Bert was that?
What? Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to pizzas.
No. I want to talk to that Bert. Who is that Bert that just came? I've never seen that Bert. I've known you for 20 years. I've never seen that Bert. You just sat there. You're like, I can do it. I was just like, all right.
Okay. Best frozen pizza.
I never fucked with frozen pizza.
Ooh, DiGiorno's, without a doubt.
Well, they definitely have
DiGiorno's.
marketplace.
God, DiGiorno's, deep dish DiGiorno's, they don't make them anymore. God, that was so fucking good.
Really?
Dude,
They still make them.
I can't find deep dish DiGiorno's.
I'm going to get you one. I have 2
You can't, but there's the thing. When it comes to food, you can't, you got to like dial down. Somebody who eats weed, you got to dial. Because, I mean, frozen pizza is just made for someone who fucking takes edibles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just like totally fucking slow and intense, turning on that stove.
Then crank up the
And
broil.
just being like, this is going to be so good.
Oh.
And then you look at somebody else like, dude, I am like so excited right now. This is so exciting. And it's just everything is fucking intense. And then that's what they remember. They forget it was because they took the edible.
Yeah.
And then they start coming to you going, dude, have you tried that DiGiorno's frozen pizza? Holy fuck.
Oh.
You got it, dude. It
Deep
is
dish.
an experience. And then unless you're as high as they were when you go to eat it.
Best pizza I ever had was in Rome. Guy made what's the dish that's made out of
Anchovies.
egg yolks and
Egg
cheese?
rolls. Egg rolls.
No.
Scrambles.
No.
Tofu?
It's
Bolognese. It's a bolognese.
It's a bolognese.
It's a bolognese.
It is, right?
It's a bolognese.
No, it's not a bolognese. Carbonara. He made pizza carbonara in Rome. This is what the guy did. He took.
It's a
he made.
smart person walking by. It's a carbonara.
carbonara.
How did you just have access to that? That was amazing. You're going to be a great mom.
He made the.
That's the kind of person that should have kids. Can
Yeah.
just pull that out like that and kill us.
Carbonara.
Carbonara.
He made
Culture.
these
Do you
ice
know she goes to
cubes.
museums? I'm not listening
No, she
to your
does not
stories.
go to ice
I'm
cube
done. I'm
museums.
over your story.
He made an ice cube that covered the egg yolk. He put it in the oven with a raw egg yolk, and they made an ice cube to cover the egg yolk so the egg yolk would stay cooled. And then,
Dude, Italians don't fuck around.
dude, no shit.
What? So why did he do that?
It was the #1 pizza in the world. He won the #1 pizza in the world.
And you had
because when
that?
you make carbonara, it is the greatest pizza I've ever had in my life.
I'm ready to fucking punch Julius Caesar. That sounds so
It was
delicious.
so good. And then the egg yolk
Where?
would stay cold in Rome.
I love Rome.
And he then would pull it out and stir the egg yolk. Everything was hot on the pizza. Stir the egg yolk, and it would harden up the way it is in carbonara. And it was the greatest
Fuck
fucking
coronavirus. I'm going.
pizza. It was the greatest pizza I've ever had in my life.
What's the name of the place? I can't remember. I'll remember. I'll go there. Crazy Bert. Oh, I can do it.
I could do it.
I can do it.
All right, let's talk about Boston. Okay.
I thought you were going to go, let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me.
It's in there. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. No, they do the.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's do that again.
Let's
Talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. There, you got it. You got to
talk
slide
about
into third. Feet first slide on that one.
I want you to walk me through Boston.
I left in 95. So
No, but
I don't know.
Like all you guys, like let's go Boston comics, right? You got you, Dane, Bobby, Joe, Gary Goldman, like all you guys, you didn't grow up in the same places, but I want to know what is different about different places in Boston, like where Marky Mark's from. Was that like a bad neighborhood?
Yes,
Like,
those guys are the guys that they make movies about.
Marky
They
Mark?
don't make movies about guys like me who lived in a fucking suburb. I always say that because whenever we like, you know, where you from? I'm like Massachusetts. They're always like, oh, it's South Boston. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
The antithesis of Goodwill Hunting. Okay, I wasn't good at math. I didn't steal cars. I lost fights. Decidedly. So no, I grew up in the safe suburbs. It was great. I had paper route. I climbed trees. I fucking played street hockey.
What about Bobby? Where did Bobby grow up?
Bobby is like George the Animal Steel, where he's like from parts unknown. Bobby's been doing the road since he was like 3.
What about Dane?
He's had more dads than you've had managers.
So Bobby's been all over Boston?
Bobby's been everywhere. I think he, like, it's like, yeah, he would need, I think, for somebody to put together Bobby's childhood, which is why it's so amazing that the man that he is now.
Yeah.
He's one of the great husbands and fathers
Legit.
that I know.
Yeah.
What his childhood was like. Like Ken Burns could do like a 20 fucking episode documentary of Bobby.
So did he live in bad neighborhoods and good neighborhoods?
It just kind of seemed like it was bad to worse to crazy.
Really?
To juvie. Yeah, he had one of my favorite things I ever saw Bobby say on stage. We were at the Cellar a long fucking time ago. We both had hair. This is how long ago it was. And Bobby was up there doing his shit, trying to find himself. And Bobby had a tendency to steer towards bodily fluids back then, right?
Yeah.
So, and it would be funny. You remember that? And the crowd would
Yeah.
groan. He'd be like, "Oh, you're fucking politically correct." It's like, no, Bob, that was just gross. So he was doing some sort of sex bit, and he was really describing it. and this woman just made this face, you know, this woman of a certain fucking, you know, level in society kind of made a face. And Bobby just stopped because those comics are fucking sensitive. He goes, what's the matter? Hey, what are you making that face for? She goes, no, nothing. I just find you to be a little crass. Oh, you find me to be a little crass? He goes, let me ask you a question. He goes, what were you doing when you were 12? Huh? Playing with dolls, having a tea party? You know where I was? I was in jail. So yeah, I'm a little fucking crass. And I remember when he got off stage, I was like, hey, Bobby, that's you.
Yeah.
That is the most you fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
That's how you get this shit over. And then, you know, I don't know. And then we fucking did 20 more years of stand-up. And now he's one of my favorite fucking comics. Because he just goes up there and he's just talking about his life. And then also, like, knowing how, you know, some of the shit that he went through and just, like, and how fucking nuts. We almost killed each other. We lived each other. We almost fucking killed each other. We were just two fucking lunatics. We almost fucking killed each other, yeah. So, and now we just call each other up, telling stories about what our kids did.
So when you'd go home, when you and Bobby would go home to like Boston for Thanksgiving, and you'd drop him off, and you'd be like, oh, why don't you drop me off first, and then you could take the car over to your place.
No, but I do remember one time we took the train up.
Yeah.
And we made the conductor so mad, she kicked me in the leg and threw us off the fucking train.
Wait, what happened?
I don't remember. We kept swearing accidentally. We were excited. We were going home for the holidays. It was me, Bobby, and Al Del Benny. And we were just being idiots. We were just talking, like, and we weren't like cursing, like, fuck you. We were just being like, hey, remember the time we fucking went into that store, right? And you started laughing, and the fucking guy comes in, and she kept going, hey. She was fucking yelling at us like she was our parent, you know?
Yeah.
So we kept going, sorry, right? And then we just pushed her to her limit. Big, large Marge chick, but she was younger, right? You know, just on her road to being an old maid. You just could tell, you know, unless somebody had a fetish. It was a sad story, right?
Yeah.
Now she's a conductor. She's not meeting any guys. Sitting there with the little fucking punch thing.
No.
That's not a mother. She's going to die alone, and she knew it. So she decided.
She's going to die alone. And
she knew it. So she decided to take this out on us. I don't know what. Her little fucking parcel of the world where she had power, we were going to know it. And if we did not respect her authority, she was going to fucking let us know what was up. And she came over the last time when I swore. She came over and she booted me right in the side of my foot on my leg. And I was like, are you out of your mind? And then she kind of came clear, like, holy shit, I just assaulted whatever, battery, whatever the fuck you call it, a passenger. So she went full on defense mode and fucking, you know, screamed to the other guy after she kicked me. Fucking called the cops and then threw us off the fucking train at the next stop. Now, here's the funny thing. The stop she kicked me off of was my stop anyway. But I felt bad for Bobby and Al because they were like, oh, what the fuck are we going to do? So the cop gets on the train and she kicked me. So she's, you know, going full female mode, like almost crying because she kicked me and I think she hurt her foot, you know, when she did it. So, and the cop's just sitting there, you know. These cops, they don't want to do paperwork. If you know that, you can really work the system here, right? Yeah. So he doesn't want to do the paperwork. So she's fucking, and he goes, okay, man. And then he just looks at me, and he just goes, guys, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. We just telling the stories. We said the F-bomb a couple times. She flipped out. He goes, all right, can you do me a favor? Can you just get off of this stop? And we're just fucking, I'm like, yeah. So we got off, and we were laughing our ass off, and she was staring at me. And as he drove by, I yelled at her. I go, I live here. The train went by, right? And yeah, so then I think my mother came down to pick me up, and then I believe that she drove them over to the Red Line so they could get into Boston. And it was hilarious because my mother found the whole thing funny, and we were all well into our 30s. No, early 30s. Maybe they were in their late 20s. I think I'm older than them, so I think I was in my early 30s. So that's my train story.
How old were you when you first went to New York?
The first time on a family trip, 83, I saw Dave Righetti pitch against the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium. Upper deck, fucking hot as balls in July. And that's when, like, I wish I could remember more of that.
Yeah.
I do remember being in Manhattan and we didn't know where we were going. We sort of wandering around, and my dad, traipsing along. We're all trying to keep up with him. He fucking walked so fast back then. And I do remember at some point we
took the subway up?
No. We drove down.
Yeah.
Got lost in the Bronx in literally the Griswold mobile. We had an '83 Caprice Classic, maroon red with the fake wood on the side.
Everyone's in Red Sox hats?
And my brother with a permit is driving it, like fucking 15. And my dad goes, all right, let me get out. So he gets out and walks around the fucking car, like that chick who got out and the tiger grabbed him. That's, one of those fucking things. So he got in and then he drove to the stadium. And then when we left, we went down into the city. And we were wandering around neighborhoods, and we must have been somewhere near the Village. I don't know where. I just remember walking along, and all of a sudden, it became a gay area. So my dad was like, oh, shit. So we were trying to get the fuck out of it. And I just remember being like, what the fuck? I mean, it was New York. Back then, it was fucked up. I remember there was a bunch of gay guys standing around watching some sort of gay porn outside through a fucking store window. This is the early 80s. Like, New York was fucking nuts. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I remember I sort of walked past him, and then I glanced, and there was this old guy, looked like Bert Young, bald with the fuzzy hair, dirty wife beater. And as I walked by, young Billy Burr, he looked at me, he goes, and I never forgot it. I was like, yeah, right? But I was actually there before then, in the early 70s, when I was just a really little kid. And we went to like the Statue of Liberty and stuff, and I barely remember that one. But
Our kids are never going to have that barely remember. They'll just go, oh, let's check the iCloud. Oh, remember that trip? Like, it's crazy. My kids have it's weird because they can't really connect to things where the pixels are super low. So like, yeah, just play something newer. But all their memories on the iCloud.
That's amazing.
Isn't that bizarre?
So it's like their childhood becomes a TV show that they watched enough times.
Yeah.
Like that's their Brady Bunch, where I watched every episode of the Brady Bunch they watched in their lives.
Yeah, look at this.
Whatever.
It goes, I mean, vivid. Look at, this is Georgia in 2005. Like, I mean, there's videos of her. She's fucking adorable. Look at this. This is Georgia. Like, I mean, their memories are all.
Oh, I don't have my phone. I gotta
so
show you. I gotta show
fucking
you my
crazy.
kid, man.
Look at this guy with a goatee.
Who's that?
That's me.
Whoa. Oh, and you had the fucking shit going on in the back too?
Yeah. Oh,
I remember that guy.
Oh, fuck. It's so crazy that I wish I had more memories. My dad wasn't cool with pictures. We went to Key West one time talking about
no
gay
pictures.
Guys. My dad was like, never would he be like, give someone a camera. You get a picture of us? That never fucking happened.
My dad was big time into that. We all be like, oh, God, Dad. And he goes, you hate it now. You're going to love it later. The slideshow.
It's so true.
And he was right.
So true.
He was right.
My Aunt Judy never wanted to be photographed. Back when they take the old tick, 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 tick. They have old videos.
Yeah.
And it was when we watched home movies one Christmas, probably when I was just out of college, maybe just moved to LA, maybe 28 years old, and we found the old videos and we found the old thing, threw it to the TV, and we're watching my dad at like fucking 5 years old playing the snow. And and my dad's crying. He's seeing his dad and his mom. And
your dad cried?
Oh, my dad gets very emotional about his dad. Anything about his dad.
Oh, that's why he doesn't want pictures. He's a sentimental guy.
I don't know, I guess.
Old school guy, so he doesn't want to cry in front of people?
Probably. And so we're watching it, but my Aunt Judy was that, oh, no pictures, no pictures. And I learned that day, never say no pictures, because you'll want to be involved like 20 years from now when they go, let's see the video. Every video, Judy's like, no. So she's not in one picture. The whole time you're looking at these childhood memories, and she's like covering her face. But yeah, man, that was crazy. Seeing like a world like.
I get weird about going into the past.
Really?
Yeah.
What? How's that?
Sometimes I like it. I like it with certain things, music, sports, movies, and stuff. But me, I don't like going back there.
What do you mean? What do you mean you?
I don't like going back looking at me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into it. It's just it just fucks me up, and I start thinking like, the dumb shit I did, the stupid decisions I made, the stuff I fucked up, and then I also think like, God, man, that seemed like it was 20 years ago. That's 40 years ago now. You just think like, wow, it's just gonna fly by, and you're just gonna be dead. And then you're like, you know what I should have done at this point in my life? I can't like just take myself out of it and be like, oh, I remember when I wore that shirt. Like I can't do that.
Really?
I start going like, why the fuck didn't you do? I start talking to myself at that age.
I start looking at pictures. Like I see that picture of me with a goatee, and then I go, hey man, write a script.
No, but it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. But I was with these girls that I'd grown up with. I'd met all of them in first grade. One of them in 8th grade, but most of them in first grade. They came out to my shows in New York. And they were like, yeah, we've known Bert for 42 years. And I was like, what? And that blew me away. I was like, 42 years?
Yeah. Dude, the 70s are now becoming 50 years ago. And I remember from like 1972 on. So I have memories. I actually remember 1970 because I remember when we moved into this house, I remember my dad tying my shoe as I sat on the counter. But it's weird. As I think of it, I think of me at this age when I was just a kid. What I do remember is he's tying those too tight. I can't feel my feet.
I can't feel my feet. I have notes, Dad. I remember, what's your very first memory? Is that one of your first memories?
My very first memory is too sad to do here on the podcast, but the next memory I remember. I'll tell you sometime. On a special occasion, I'm smoking a cigar. My second memory is, well, that's a sad one too. The next one, the third one, I remember standing out in the snow in a snowsuit, looking back into the kitchen window and my parents looking out, smiling at me and my brother.
Yeah.
So I do remember that. And that was probably 1969 or 70.
Wow. I remember watching kids play hockey. I must have been, my mom and dad say I must have been like, but definitely before 3. I remember looking on our balcony, looking down and seeing kids playing hockey. I remember that vividly. I remember.
Was there a raven there when somebody went through the ice?
No.
Why do you think you remember that?
I don't know. My mom and dad are like, there's no way you could have remembered that. There's no way we would have let you out on the porch by yourself to go down, to look over in the winter and look at kids play hockey. But they go, kids did play hockey down there, but there's no way you remember that. And I was like, no, I remember that vividly. They're like, yeah, I bet it's a memory that we've talked about and you remember it from that. That's what it probably is. But I remember,
Your parents do that to you a lot?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom and Dad, this is what I'm feeling. No, you're not feeling that.
My dad, you got an active imagination, buddy. Not all these stories are true. They're fun. They're fun that you tell them.
Active imagination is a gentleman's way of saying you're full of shit on this one.
100%. Well, there's times where I will put dreams into memories. Like one time my dad was trying to sell his company, and this guy took us to dinner, and he was like, you know what you guys need to do? You need to get on in the Everglades. I got these airboats, and you take them down there. You can go see alligators. I said, we did that. And my dad's like, huh? I said, yeah, we all did that. Remember, like we were chasing each other in airboats, and then like everyone had their own airboat. And my dad's like, I don't think we did that. And then my sister Annie goes, I think you're thinking of Police Academy 3. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I think it was Police Academy 3. Yeah, I guess we didn't do that.
Oh, so you're a little fucked up.
Yeah, memories just all full. Everything's into one thing. Where I can't.
Bert.
Yeah.
It's all about you.
Yeah, and I go, oh yeah,
Did
yeah.
your wife
that
give you
happened.
shit about that?
Oh yeah. Hardcore.
Dude, I know this guy. He does this thing, right? Where you'll be like, if you're complaining about somebody, then he'll say, well, he's always been nice to me. And it's just like, this isn't about you. It's not about your relationship. I just said what the fucking guy did. That's clearly not good behavior. He's always been nice to me.
Yeah. He's always been nice to me. I mean.
And especially in that moment, you just want to be heard. You just want somebody to be like, yeah, you know what? That was fucked up.
Yeah. It is always fucked up when you want to trash someone to someone and they start defending them and you're like, it's just me and you. They're not here. I'm not going to snitch on you. Like, let's just admit that person's a fucked up person.
Yeah.
But whatever.
No, it hurts. I can tell in the whatever it hurts. You'd be like, yeah, but.
Where you go to like start a good trashing on someone, you're like, let me tell you what's wrong with what ... And then the guy goes, actually, we're pretty close. And you're like, I know, I understood that. I thought you could put that aside.
Well, you
for a
can't
little
do that
bit.
if somebody's close. You can't start trashing.
Do it to Segura. I'll watch this. I'll trash him with you.
Yeah, but you're friends and the camera's on, so it's not a true trashing.
Give me someone else. Name someone.
The camera's on.
I can do it, but I can do it. I can listen. I can listen to a trashing.
Is they're not watching.
I can listen to a true trashing.
You know, this is about him again. This is about you and how much better you are at being a listener. Oh, I get it.
I'm not a good listener. I'm a horrible listener. Like,
I know, because the other person talking is not about you.
Can you look through other people's vacation photos?
Look through?
Like
I
someone
sneak
goes,
into their
oh,
house?
we just took a trip to Cancun. Take a look.
Yeah, I
And
can
then-
look at that. Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, am I in any of these? Like, I need, am I going to show up? Is there a surprise? Like, you're showing these to me because clearly I'm in one of them. I
That's a
didn't
great thing to say, though.
remember. What?
That's a great out, that
Yeah.
line. Oh, let me show you my trip to Cancun. Am I going to be in any of these? Because if not, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And it just shuts their shit down, and it gives something for them to not like about you, which will make them want to leave.
Yeah.
That's great.
I can't listen.
Can I use that?
Yeah, of course. I can't look through photos of other people's trips. I'm like,
I'll tell you what's fucking hilarious.
what?
Is showing a picture of your kid to someone who's never had kids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you might as well show them a picture of this. Oh, a woman, though. You'll find a woman who, wants to have kids, blah, blah, blah. And just that motherly thing, they can be, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's believable. But if it's really a guy, you show a picture of a kid to a guy who doesn't have a kid, it's just like, hey, there he is. Oh, yeah, look at that one. I mean, it's just like, just no fucking interest whatsoever. But like, once you have a kid, somebody shows a picture of a kid, you get excited because you know what the deal is, and then you want to show your kids, and
That's so funny that this is the first question.
Okay.
When you go to the bathroom, do you always close the door behind you?
No.
I don't either. Maybe we should start this different.
Sometimes, if there's people around, I do. If there's someone I trust in the other room.
I just went to the bathroom in here and I left the door open. If there's someone I trust, I'm not concerned. But if I'm like at a restaurant, I close the door behind me.
Yeah.
I definitely close the door behind me.
You ever forget to lock it?
Yeah.
Somebody comes walking in with your fucking pants down around your legs and you're hovering.
You ever gone into the stall and the thing's broken and you're like, great, I'm just going to get walked in on. Well, that's not going to
So
happen.
you got to rock back and forth. Take a shit, close the door. Take a shit, close the door.
Yeah. So why would you let people look on you when you're online, right? If you're not going to do it in the bathroom, why would you do it online?
That makes a lot of sense.
Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like going to the bathroom and not closing the door behind you.
Craziness. I'd never do that.
Did you know that that your internet service provider, like Comcast or Verizon, knows every single website you visit? Every single website. And what's worse, they can sell this information to ad companies and tech giants who will use your data to target you.
I love how they're going to combine your porn use and your sports watching by what kind of toothpaste you like.
ExpressVPN puts a stop to this. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity can't be seen by anyone. I use ExpressVPN on all my devices, and it works on everything, my iPhone, my laptops, even routers. So everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can still be protected even if they don't have ExpressVPN. And the best part is, using ExpressVPN is an easy way. It's as easy as closing the bathroom door.
It's as easy as closing the bathroom door.
As
That was
easy.
the callback.
God dang it. You just fire up the app, click one button, and bam, you're protected. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by TechRadar, Wired, The Verge, and countless others. So if you're like me and you believe your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting ExpressVPN/BillBert today.
I like it.
Use the link
How do you spell it?
expressvpn.com/BillBert, and you get an extra 3 months free. That's expressvpn/BillBert.
All right, last one. Policy Genius. You think all the geniuses are at the Apple Store? No, they're not. Some of them are out here making policies. Policy Genius. If there's one thing humans aren't great at, it's predicting the future. Just take a look around. No amount of crystal balls, fortune cookies, or tea leaves could predict the world we're living in right now. But unpredictability is also what keeps life interesting. The trick is to enjoy the ride. Put little fucking things of food out. Have a fun day without worrying about what's around the corner. And one way to worry less is about the right life insurance. I agree with this. That's where Policy Genius can help. You got to have the life insurance. So if you croak, everybody's fine.
Yep.
They cry at your funeral, and then they get that big house.
This is my dad. The first speech my dad gave to me when we had Georgia. Stop being a baby. Go get life insurance. It's not about whether you're scared to do it. It's about protecting your family.
Yeah.
If God forbid something happens to you, you want them to be protected.
When you die, people should cry, and that's it. Everything else should be fucking paid
Yeah.
for, and then they move into a bigger, better house. They take all your clothes down to Goodwill.
No.
It's like you never happened.
No.
Policy Genius makes finding the right life insurance a breeze. In minutes, you can compare quotes from top insurers to find your best price. You can save $1,500 or more a year by using Policy Genius to compare life insurance policies. This is great because this
Yeah.
is like it's like you're playing the free agent market, like Tom Brady.
Yeah,
And
100%.
when you get life insurance, you don't give a fuck about turbulence on a plane anymore.
Oh, I want to know about that.
That's where I'm at. I don't give a shit. Right? Once you really want to see how this is going to play out, once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. And Policy Genius doesn't just make life insurance easy. They can also help you find the right home and auto insurance or disability insurance. So, if you haven't found a play-by-play breakdown of your future inside a crystal ball or a cookie, that's okay. Be prepared for anything with life insurance. In just a few minutes, you can find your best price and apply at policygenius.com. Policy Genius. We always get the future wrong. Better get life insurance right.
That's it. Better get life insurance right.
And just like that.
Okay, what about this? What about this? Did you ever have, when you were single, you'd have be at a table or a dinner table with a group of people, girls and guys, and the girls would be like, you know what? Cindy's single. You know who we should introduce you to? And you'd be at the end of the day, we're going, say Bert, say Bert, say Bert, say Bert. And they're like, Jason, he's a great guy. And you'd be like, and never once did anyone ever go, Bert, we should set you up with Cindy. She's single. Never once. Never.
I was the opposite.
For real?
I was the opposite. And they go, you know who so-and-so should be hooked up with? I would be sitting there going, don't pick me, don't pick me, don't pick me. I was so shy and introverted. I was like the right fielder who did not want the ball hit to him.
My daughter.
And for me, that was anything social that didn't involve hanging out with the fellas and getting drunk. Like, I could do that. I could go to sporting events, but anything that had to do with chicks or anything, I was just like, I was a mess.
Really?
I was a mess. Mess.
Were you good at first kisses?
First kiss. Well, once I learned how to kiss. Yeah.
No, I was
First-
never good at getting a first kiss. Like, I was never someone, that first kiss gave me so much anxiety that I would sometimes,
Anxiety is never a good look with a woman.
I couldn't turn it off. Like, I couldn't.
You're making me uncomfortable right now. I'm feeling you sweating throughout the date.
I mean, there's girls I dated for maybe like a couple weeks, never kissed them, and they just must have been like, he's gay, I guess.
I was the smoothest fucking dude ever with women I didn't give a fuck about. I would just be like, who the fuck is this? I would say shit, I would do shit, and it just fucking bang, bang, bang. It would just fucking work. The second I gave a fuck about somebody,
Yeah.
it's like being a comedian. You go on stage, if you fucking care, it just, then you're between your ears and the whole thing fucking dies.
Yeah,
so
why
I
is that?
tried, because you're not in the moment anymore. You're up here, you start watching yourself doing it, rather
Yeah.
than being like, just like, how the fuck do we do this podcast? At any point, do you start thinking like, Jesus Christ, we got 3 hours to fill up? You don't.
No.
You just sit down and start talking, and you
Yeah.
do the comic thing. Oh, I want to say something. I want to say something.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, 3 hours goes by. But if we had just started out, we'd be like, oh fuck, there's a camera. That's what that shit is. It's the same thing. It's getting to a level of comfort where you don't give a fuck. But that's one of the hardest things to do with women, is to be the guy who doesn't give a fuck, because then you can be loose, relaxed, funny, and you're going to get laid. But the thing is, you're not necessarily going to, when you meet somebody that you actually connect with, you care. And it's impossible to shut off caring. So you got to hope that she finds that awkwardness cute and reads it right.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, then you know what? Fuck her. Moving on, kid.
So wait, when was the last time you got on stage and noticed that you cared and didn't have a great set?
Last time I noticed that I cared, I think I ended up having a good set, but I cared was I went down to the Improv, not knowing what night or weekend who was there, and I went down there, and it was Earthquake was working there. And he came in, and it was mostly a black crowd, which I hadn't done in a minute. And he was like, "Oh, Bill, how you doing? You want to go up?" I was like, "Yeah, going up." And I gave a fuck when I went up there. I was like, "Oh shit, do I still know how to do these rooms?"
Yeah.
You know, because it's different, like going up in front of a mixed crowd. It's when the predominant vibe is not you, which is something a white male comic doesn't experience a lot.
Yeah.
There's a familiarity to it that if that gets changed, will fuck with you, unless you've been doing those rooms, which I hadn't. So I gave a fuck initially, but I just started talking, and I immediately got him. And then I was like, wow, I haven't done these rooms in a long time, but I am now 10 years better than I was. And then I was actually able to talk about a whole bunch of crazy shit. And I remember walking out of there, and I had that high of doing stand-up in a situation like that. Is beyond doing new material.
Yeah.
It's the feeling of like I couldn't be any more different than this crowd in a lot of ways. And I was able to not just stay on the subjects that we're going to relate to, relationships, sports, or politics, right? I can do my fucked up shit. And I was able to keep the attention of this crowd interested in what I thought, you know, about whatever. So I left that going like, and then I also felt it always open, like doing those rooms. I used to love doing those rooms. I just, I don't know what happened. You know, you start fucking doing stand-up, and then I always thought I'd have more of a mixed following. And I know I did BETs and I did the Apollos and stuff, I was trying to have the New York crowd everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Because that was my favorite, was when everybody was there, then you could talk about everything.
Yeah.
Whereas all of a sudden, if it's, you know, you're doing a woman's college, like just certain jokes all of a sudden take on like an extra level of weight. Or it's just like, you know, I view like those types of gigs, it's like you become like a radio station where it's just like, okay, we got white males 18 to 34, do that material to blah, blah, blah. Or this is a woman's college, or this is a cruise ship with old people. I liked New York, where it was just like, fucking talk about whatever you want to talk about, just be funny. So I was hoping that kind of thing was going to happen, but it hasn't so far, but hopefully it will.
That's interesting. I remember watching Kevin Hart do Shaq and Cedric's All-Star Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
It was one of the sets that kind of changed the way I saw because I always thought in order to appeal, you had to be edgy, you had to be dirty, you had to be like really ride the line. Kevin Hart went up and talked about his kids, and everyone else was like, where are the pimps at? Where, you know, like, where are the real hustlers? Who remembers growing up in the projects? Like,
Right.
But Kevin Hart just went up and talked about his kids, and I thought, oh my God, they all have kids. Like the majority of people have kids in this room. He's just connecting about kids. He isn't going dirty. He's just talking about his kids. And I was like, oh, you don't have to go up there and be like, try to shock the room. You can also just.
Oh, Patrice used to talk about that.
What's that?
Well, he used to feel if he went in to do those rooms that he was put in a box where it's like, Bill, I'm not going down there. I'm not talking about roaches in my apartment. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about that. I want to go up there and talk. And I used to say, well, you can. And when he was younger, he's like, they won't let you. They won't let you.
Yeah.
You know, they tune you out. And what it really is it's a confidence thing.
Yeah, it's in your head.
Yeah, so yeah, it is. Because you can basically go up there and talk about anything. Because that's how I used to settle my head down when I would do those rooms. I would think back to the prior albums that I listened to, and I would be like, the world that this guy lived in could not have been any different than from the way I grew up. But the way he told this story, he brought me, like his bits, his stories in my head are short films. Like the crap game, I know what everybody in that thing looks like. I haven't listened to it in a minute, but when I put it back on, over the course of listening to it, saw what the room looked like, how much smoke was in there. Yeah. You know, the girl with the fat ass, kiss my ass, motherfucker. I know what she looks like, the color of her dress. I got all of that in there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so all of that is like movies, and so anytime, Like that's how I actually judge like the level of like performance that somebody's doing. Is that's the true way to tell, I think, is if you are 100% different, just about, other than being a human being from somebody as far as your life experience, but you can bring me into your world, hold my interest, is like, it's why I liked Biggie.
Yeah.
Like I was, white kid listened to rock music or whatever. And I remember Patrice gave me, listen to this shit. This guy's the next guy, whatever. So I put it in. And what I liked about a lot of his stuff is it played out like a movie, the way he told stories. Because that other shit where somebody's just doing a laundry list of everything that they own and how much money they got, it's kind of funny to be talking shit like that, but after a while it's just like white noise. Like the rap version of doing that, the white version of that was in the 80s when there was a guitar solo and someone would just do a tap on. And after a while, it just didn't sound like anything after a while. It's like, all right, I get it. You can do the tap on thing too and make the dumb faces as you do it, but it's just like you're not fucking. This doesn't even sound like music to me anymore.
What was it like? I had this thought on stage the other day where I go, the act I'm doing today is no longer even remotely close to the act I did when I worked comedy clubs where the stage was a lot smaller. In a theater, all of a sudden you're using so much more space. Did you notice? Was there like a point? What? Shut the fuck up. What are you laughing at?
I'm just picturing you being extra flamboyant,
Oh.
little sword hanging off your side. This is my shit joke. I'm in a theater.
No, I have a bit where I walk across the stage and the bit is the walk and what I'm saying on the walk. I was like, I could have never done that at Caroline's.
No, you'd have to pace back and forth. I like doing both. I like the privilege of being in a theater, and I like the insanity of a comedy club.
Yeah.
Like just food is being eaten and served, and checks are being dropped, and people are coming in late. I love that shit. And
What if they said same money, you got to pick one for the rest of your life, comedy club or theater? Can't do the other ones. Same money though.
oh, theater. I
Yeah.
got to go with theater just because I could put more people in there. I could make my money. I could do one show instead of 6.
Yeah.
I'm too old to do 6.
You don't think you could go in and do Toledo for a weekend for the rest of your life?
I could do it, but I wouldn't have to do the time that I do in a theater. Dude, when I came up, man, you said to do 45 to close. There was
know.
None of this shit doing an hour. Dude, 45 is a joke.
45 is, I feel like I haven't even started my set at 45. It sounds silly. But like I'm pacing myself out now, and my first chunk is 33 minutes. And then I go, God, man, I was thinking this the other day. I was like, if they had a tight turnaround in New York because we had 2 shows, and there was, union, fucking hardcore union theater.
Right.
And so they were like, yo, the guy was like, you got to be off at like 9:06. And I was like looking at it and I was like, that's an hour. And he was like, 9:06, not a fucking second later. And so I was like, okay. And I barreled through, got to 45 minutes, and I was like, I still have some material to do, and I got to still tell the machine story. I was like, God, man, 45 minutes seems like fucking nothing now.
Yeah, you got to go right to the machine story. Yeah, but you got to get off stage because those fucking union guys will kill you.
100. I got off at 11:05 or 9:05, and I went back. I go, not a fucking second over. He was like, good on you, man. Good on you.
We don't care what you do. We just want to get the fuck out of here.
Dude, they yelled at me because I went on stage. The stage was closed at 6 p.m. up until 6 p.m. when doors opened. And I had a film crew with me, and I just said, I want you to show you how pretty the theater is. They fucking lit me up. They were like, off the fucking stage, right fucking now. Right fucking now, get off the fucking stage.
Why?
Because they're on their union break.
What the fuck's going to happen?
I don't know.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. You can sum that up in one word. Ugh. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Do you like doing arenas?
I'm not doing, I've done a couple.
Yeah, but do you enjoy that?
If I can do it in the round, I do.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
The round is fun as shit.
Yeah, and then I always, I rent some drums and some guitars, amps and shit. Me and my friends go in and fucking jam and have a great time. Yeah. I like
That's
that
fucking-
aspect of it. And then I also like being in the round. Then you feel like it makes it way more intimate. You're way closer. You just literally, being all the way on one side, I always feel bad for people that far away.
Yeah.
Because I've been that guy. I saw Dice at the Worcester Central, and I had like third to last row, upper fucking deck of that place. And it's like I saw him, but I never saw him.
Yeah.
I want to say there was a video. I believe there was. It was like 88 or 89. But I was way the fuck up there. I still laughed my ass off. And he fucking murdered.
God.
Then in the end, he played with a band, and then he did like a drum solo. It was fucking bananas.
I would have liked to have seen. There's a lot of things I would have liked to see. I would
Dude,
like to have seen
Dice
Jordan
in 1989. I mean, and that was like a moment in comedy history, where the outlaw comics, and that was like sort of the second coming of that. Do we need to censor these guys after Lenny and George and Pryor and all of those guys? This was sort of the second, like that whole PMRC. Do you remember that in the 80s?
What's PMRC?
It was like the parental.
Yeah. What's her name?
Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore.
Yeah, and they would put these stickers on albums and cassette tapes and CDs, and like I see all these rock stars joking, like, oh, dude, we used to go for that sticker, man, because then all the kids were like, oh, this is the real shit.
Yeah.
We got to listen to this. It really like backfired, but I wish I saw Sam, and I wish I saw Richard, but I saw pretty much everybody else.
You never saw Richard Pryor out here at the store?
This kills me. Like I could have gone and seen him one night, and I was with Patrice, but Patrice was like, I don't want to see him like that, which I didn't have a problem with it, but I also wasn't on Patrice's journey where he sensed that, what happened to him was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like he always had like this, I'm not built, I'm not going to, what he used to say, I'm not long for this world. He just knew. I think there's something about going down in your prime. A lot of guys, like, they know it. It's weird. It's a weird thing. So I think he knew it, and I think that seeing him like that reminded him of what he was going to face, which is fucking nuts, man. I hate talking about that shit. But so I didn't go in and see him, and I regret that. I wish I was strong enough as a person to be like, I get that you don't want to see him. I got to go see this. Like, this guy, like, what he meant to me as a comic was, it was, there's no way to really put into words how great that guy was.
Yeah.
There really isn't.
I would have liked to have seen Kinnison. Definitely, without a doubt, I would love to have seen.
I would love to have seen Kinnison in '84.
Yeah.
Right before. All those stories that you hear. Like, I would want to see Kinnison when people didn't know who he was, and were like, but you knew who he was. It's like when I used to watch Attell, before people knew who he was. Like, I can't tell you how many shows I went up and I bombed, and I still stayed there just to get the satisfaction of him getting the crowd.
Oh.
And he would go up there, and I remember, and like, the crowd would have this confidence because they fucked with guys like me.
Yeah.
And won, me, my big dumb orange afro, they would just fucking tore me to ribbons. And then he would go up there and they'd see, oh, look at this guy, let's fuck with this guy. And like within, like, he would just, verbally choke slam the first fucking guy, and everybody then was just like
he was.
And then he would go into his shit, and it was like, it was my favorite thing about before he got famous. I remember I used to look at Patrice like that. I remember a time when he, the classic story when he went back and forth with that transvestite, whatever the fuck you're supposed to say now.
Yeah.
And they just went back and forth trashing each other. And I remember it was so fucking funny. And I remember afterwards, I had a feeling of sadness of like, this guy is going to hit so hard and he's going to get so fucking famous that I'm not going to be able to see people meeting him for the first time because they're already going to know who he is and expect this. So can you imagine hanging out with Don Rickles before people knew what he did?
Oh.
And just watching
That's
him.
an interesting, to watch people meet Patrice was...
For the first time was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite... I used to fucking hang out with that guy just to watch him go into stores and potentially make a purchase. I remember him haggling with this guy in Times Square. He got into cameras at one point. He was just like, got into photography. And he was haggling with this guy who could barely speak English. And the guy just kept going, I can't. And Patrice started going, He started imitating the guy. And at one point, he took his money, which was less than what the guy wanted. And the camera was on the table. And he putting it down. And he was, he just doing it. He was imitating the guy. I was crying, laughing. And the guy was trying to because he's trying to catch up with what Patrice is saying. He's like fucking imitating him. And then he sees me crying, laughing, knows that Patrice is fucking around. And then looked at Patrice. He was pissed. But Patrice had that shit-eating grin on his face. And he fucking laughed. And then Patrice ended up getting the camera for what he wanted. And I just was like, it was like the fucking show before the show.
Yeah.
Any of that shit, watching him hit on women as they walk down the street, all of this shit you can't fucking do anymore. He would yell across the street, Miss, ma'am,
ma'am.
I can tell by your walk you're not happy in your personal life. And she'd be like, what the fuck? And he'd start breaking her down like psycho. I would get like embarrassed and this big voice echoing off the fucking skyscrapers and could give a fuck.
Yeah.
And would just fucking like every fucking... I remember watching him trying to figure out New York, talking to women, and they were just like, what the fuck? And he was just like, God damn, what do you got to do to get a bitch to talk to you? But he figured it out. He figured it out. He was probably one of the best I ever saw walking down the street talking to women. Him, Russ Maneve, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was great. They were fucking good at it. But fucking, Russ Maneve. I remember one time he goes, Bill, just fucking talk. There's no big deal. And he goes, look, you see that chick over there? He goes, watch this. And he just fucking walks up to her, starts talking to her. He gets her smiling, gets her laughing. I can't remember if he got the fucking number. And he goes, there you go, got a number. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to call her or not, but you got to get good at it. And I was just like, all right, this is like a skill. Then I tried. Are you going to just let out whatever the fuck you... I've been hearing sounds over
burping. Russ Maneve one time, when we were both working at Boston, I want to say he was hosting that night, and he was like, hey, why don't you go long? And I was like, really? Because I was the door guy. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, stretch your legs, go long. Do like 15, 20. And I went, okay. We get to like 15, and I'm looking, I'm not seeing the light. I'm like, all right, get to 20, I don't see the light. Look around, I don't see Russ. I'm like, that's fucking odd. I get to like 25, and I got no material left. I'm like, right. I need somebody to get me off stage, and all of a sudden Russ comes out of the bathroom. Girl comes out of the bathroom. I was like, God damn it. He was fuck. You know who used to eat the bones of the chicken wing?
No.
He ate the bones as well. I spent a lot of time with Russ Maneve.
Possible?
Yeah, he ate the bones. I spent a lot. I think every time I piss in their shit on the back of the toilet.
Was that a Police Academy episode?
Russ, by the way, I don't know. You might be right.
I don't think.
One of them is.
It was either Russ Maneve or I fed into my dog. I can't fucking... What are you doing here?
Russ Maneve, one time, he had a joke about pissing on... He goes, my roommate doesn't clean. He considers pissing the poo off the toilet seat cleaning the toilet. And every time I see shit on the toilet seat and I piss it off, I think of Russ Maneve's joke. Isn't that crazy how you'll think of one person's joke every time you see that one thing, you go, oh yeah, that guy's joke.
Or a punchline that stays in your head forever.
Oh. Sometimes it's just little sayings like, did everyone get it that's going to get it? Let's move along.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Dude, I remember I was dating a girl.
Sarah Silverman had one that stuck with me for years.
Oh, I was licking the jelly off my boyfriend's dick?
No.
What?
The one where she said something about she goes, I have a box of condoms right next to my bed. And the way she did it, she goes, because I do a lot of fucking. And just the way she did it. I remember I was in another room. I don't think I ever even saw the joke. Yeah. My wife was on the couch. We live in New York, one-bedroom apartment, and it was like the living room, and then there was the bedroom, and then the bathroom. So I was like, and she had it turned up, and I could hear it, and I was like shaving. I fucking bursted out laughing, and it was. I think that was. I think I already knew her then, but that's when I was like, I really became like I always liked her, but I became a huge fan.
Yeah.
Of her style.
She was the first. She was the first woman I ever saw on stage. I never saw a woman do stand-up. It hadn't registered with me. Like, I'm sure I'd seen like Paula Poundstone and stuff, but I never realized like, oh, they could be sexy as fuck.
You never saw Joan Rivers?
No, I never saw Joan Rivers do stand up.
Never saw Lily Tomlin or-
No, never saw Lily Tomlin do stand up. I saw Paula Poundstone. I saw her do stand up when I was a kid.
Ellen DeGeneres,
Nope, never saw. I knew Ellen DeGeneres
Marsha Warfield,
as an actress.
Shirley Hemphill.
No, none.
You didn't see any of these people?
Moved to New York.
Sandra Bernhard?
Sarah Silverman went up in like a, I want to say like a Conan
keep naming.
sweatshirt, and I was like, holy shit, she was so fucking funny. So when people were saying like, oh, women aren't funny, my only representation of that was Sarah Silverman, who I thought was beautiful, and she was cool. Like she was approachable because you were a comic, she'd talk to you or whatever. Yeah, I remember that joke. That was the first joke I
What
heard.
fucking year? Was this the 90s? You didn't even think
97.
the...
Never seen it. I'd seen Paula Poundstone, but that's it. Never seen like.
You saw Joan Rivers?
No, I saw Joan Rivers do the Tonight Show, host the Tonight Show. I never saw her do stand up. The only people I'd say that I'd never seen do stand up by the time I got into it, Comedy Central. I'd seen some of the Comedy Central stuff. Like they do those
Laura
things.
Keitlinger used to host...
I saw Laura.
Stand-up.
I knew who Laura Keitlinger was. But when I got into stand up, Janine Garofalo I saw in '97. I saw Janine Garofalo on HBO, and I thought she was so sexy. I still think she's sexy. That's just because I know
You're
she'd
so
hate me.
fucking funny.
If I get
It is the Bert Show 24/7. Just goes on between your head. She's so sexy. I still think she's sexy.
Oh, she's so sexy. Oh,
All right, Bert finds Janine sexy.
I have I had a great experience with her in Montreal. We all bombed doing this show, and she was really upset about it. And she was over by the makeup people, and it was when CISO was a thing, and so all the CISO executives were in our green room where we should be, but she was off to the side. And I went over and I was like, and I barely knew her. I didn't know her at all really. And I went over and I was like, hey, what's up? And she said, I didn't have a good set. I was like, oh, none of us did. And she was like, oh, you had a good set. And I said, no, actually, none of us did. And mine was worse because I stuck with my material. You decided to go off and do your own thing. And we were dying in the green room watching you. And she went, really? And I said, yeah. And she goes, I don't want to go sit over there. I'm embarrassed. And I was like, hey, I should be more embarrassed than you. I'm going over there. Trust me. You have nothing to be embarrassed of. She was so cool. She was like, really? And I was like, oh my God, you fucking Janine Garofalo. How can you ever be embarrassed of what you do on stage? It's like you when I go, when were you ever in your head? Every time you're on stage, I go, you're so, I don't give a fuck, that the idea that you would go, oh, when you care too much. I'm like, when the fuck does that happen?
Oh, that reminds me.
What?
I got to fucking talk to you about something. We went to the XFL game.
Yeah.
And you did something, because you've been a parent longer than me, and you did, you did one of those, I've been a parent longer than you fucking moves. So we were in the family car. It was fucking funny, as we have this CD of French songs.
Yeah.
So my daughter can listen, because she's learning how to speak French, right? So what was funny is I'm riding with you, and I can't figure out how to shut it up. And it's these kids' songs, that song about autumn, right? L'automne, c'est l'automne, c'est une belle saison, c'est l'automne. And I'm fucking driving with him, we're laughing our asses off. He goes, what the fuck is this? And I finally got it off. I go, yeah, we're trying to teach my daughter how she's going to speak French. And you just go, that's such an older parent thing to do. That's like the most fucking arrogant, full of yourself, Bert Kreischer fucking thing. Just because you got sticky fucking, it's not, like having your kid be bilingual is not an older parent thing. It's just a decision.
It so is.
And then another fucking thing, another thing that you said, you go,
It so is.
it isn't.
Oh, she's taking piano lessons, really?
Dude,
She's 3.
time out. Piano lessons?
No, dude.
There's entire generations, that's all they did. When they grew up, you took fucking piano lessons.
When
We
you're
used to have,
older,
like,
when we're the age where our kids, you just were like, just get them from A to B without dying. Like it was like we so did not know what we were doing that the idea of teaching them another language was like, ooh, like what do you do?
But that's your limitations.
Yeah.
You're superimposing your limitations as a parent onto me.
It
It fucked with you that my kid's gonna be bilingual and you missed the boat. So then you had to fucking be like, oh, that's such an older parent thing to do. The only thing that was missing when you said that was a little fucking hair flip. Meow, Bert. Very catty. I sat here while you fucking dished out this fucking misinformation about getting help raising your kids going, we raised our kids the old school way. That you didn't raise your kids the old school way. You raised your kids the new old way.
Yeah, right.
How old is the expression it takes a village
Yeah.
to raise a child? That existed long before you went raw and had a fucking kid. All right?
Raw.
So what you're experiencing now is the failure of the nuclear family, where it's just the mother and the father. Did you see that fucking poor bastard who left his fucking two baby twin girls in the car and they died?
No, I did not.
That's from having no fucking help.
Yeah.
Dude, back in the day, it's like the woman had like in China, do you know this day? I heard like in China, they keep her under blankets for like fucking a month. And everybody else
told me about
deals with,
this.
yeah, everybody else deals with the kid. To fucking try and do it yourself, it's stupid, dude. You're gonna start fucking hallucinating.
Yeah. Dude, I had a night in Aspen.
So that is
where
not the old school way. There was a new thing that came about.
I'm going to tell you a parenting thing that I did.
Listen, that is,
Bill
no,
will
this is misinformation. This is what happened. Okay, a buddy of mine got a job, right?
Yeah.
With a corporation.
Okay.
Okay? They moved him, say he lived in Florida. They said, we want you to work here. And you know what they did? They fucking assigned him in Alaska. And he ended up getting friends with somebody in the HR. And the reason why they fucking do that is because they don't want you to have options, friends, people that can hook you up with a job, a better job, or if you're thinking of quitting, you have options. So they move you as far away from people as you fucking that you could possibly know.
Yeah.
That's what created the fucking nuclear family, dude. Is people started getting jobs and they fucking moved away. And then all of a sudden you had a fucking kid. You had to go to work and your poor wife had to sit there getting fucking 2 hours of sleep for fucking 60 straight days, dude. I mean, that's why every fucking kid when we were growing up had this scar, had that scar, ran with a glass and fucked up their face. That shit doesn't happen anymore. For the most part, if you get fucking help. You should get help. You should have in-laws. You should have family members. If you can afford to get a night nurse, you should fucking do that. It makes you be a better parent.
I will agree with that 100%.
My mother said to me one time, she goes, I don't even remember my 30s. And
I
she
feel like
never
I don't.
did drugs. That's how fucking sane it was to have all of those kids. She'd be like, hey, can we take the car out? She'd be like, yeah. Just trying to fucking... It was insane.
I remember one morning in Aspen, Leanne had the flu, and I had to take care of both the girls, and we had been out, and I didn't know Leanne was going to get sick. And I took a belt, and I put a belt around me. I looped it. I took a belt and put it around Isla, and I took a belt and I put it around Georgia. And I just sat there hoping they wouldn't fucking move. And we just tried to watch TV, and I was just like this.
Yeah. Is that good parenting?
No, horrible.
Yeah, that's
horrible.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we didn't have...
So listen, if you get 8 hours sleep, you have time to be like...
Oh,
well,
I would have
loved...
I would have loved to have those...
You could have, you cheap fuck.
No.
Yes.
I was making no money on the fucking road at the time.
I mean, dude, come on. Buddy.
What?
You could have done it.
No,
How much money were you spending on booze? You easily could have afforded a fucking couple nights a week.
First of all, not a lot on booze. I was getting free drinks at the clubs. But we ended up getting help. When I started doing the road, when I started getting booked on the road.
But if you didn't pick this business,
yeah,
you would have been in Florida. Your parents would have been down the street, and you would have had help.
100%.
So what I'm saying is,
my sisters lived down the street when I lived in LA, and they helped.
Yeah.
When we were about to give birth to Isla.
My mother-in-law helped. She's the best.
Yeah.
She's the fucking best.
Yeah.
You need help.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Now it's too late. It's too late for you and your kids.
I would have loved at times to have not, like, I don't know, it's so different though, because there were times where I'd hang out with my daughters and I'd be like, I should be working, I should be doing something. But instead I'm babysitting because Leanne's at work, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And I remember those fondly, like taking them to the mall or going to play softball at the park or just going to the park in general. I would have loved to have more help. We got a nanny when I started doing the road. We got a nanny, but the nanny was only there when I wasn't. Like,
right.
I was never there with the nanny. I would have loved it. Teach my kid fucking French.
See, now we're getting to why you said that.
What?
And I'll tell you.
Oh, because
I love you enough to forgive you.
Okay.
But I'm just letting you know you got a little sassy in the car.
Okay.
And I didn't appreciate it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And I accept that, and I am in a place now where I can move on. That's how adults do it.
I'm sorry I said that.
It's all right. I knew where it came from.
Man, when my second wife and I have kids, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, you got to get help.
Oh, I'm gonna do this one right. You'll be shocked. Did it really bother you?
I clocked it when you said it, and then afterwards, I ran it by my wife. I go, "Is this kind of? Am I nuts? This a little douchey?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said it to her, and she went, "Ew." He said that? I go, "Yeah, he's kind of being a cunt, right?" She goes, "Yeah, it's a little cunty."
No, but I didn't mean it as a cunt. I meant it as a joke. Like I bust balls with Segura has kids.
No, there was a weird vibe in the car.
No.
There was a weird vibe.
I didn't. Well, I said it right when we got in the car.
No.
It was the first thing I said when we got in the car.
No, you're flailing right now. I know you're lying, like your body language. I can see.
It was the first thing I said when I got in the car.
That's not what you said. First of all, you had to register that there was the fucking CD. You had
Yeah.
to do all of that shit.
Yeah.
You didn't immediately go in and hear
I
the
can't
French
believe
CD.
it really bothered you. I did not mean for it to bother. I was just joking
Listen,
around.
It didn't bother me. Like, I just brought it up because it would be funny on this fucking thing. I wasn't gonna be walking around like, that. I like 80% of Bert, but that fucking comment.
No, but I said something the other time. There was another thing I said on a podcast where I was like, I said something, and you were like, what was it? It was like the one when we did over there. I don't know. I can't remember.
You bugged me?
Yeah, something I said that
You
were
never
like,
legit bugged me.
Yeah. I bug a lot of people. You'd be shocked.
No, I can see that. You're doing well. You're coming up with good ideas. Yeah. It's, people doing well bothers other people.
Yeah, it does.
All right? You want to get along with everybody in life. Do not succeed. Do not succeed and then agree with what everybody says around you. And you will have more friends than you know what to do with.
Just agree and fail.
Agree and fail.
Yep.
That's the secret.
You know, we're one of the top relationship podcasts.
What's that?
We're one of the top relationship podcasts.
According to who?
iTunes.
Well, who are they?
I don't know. iTunes put us on the relationship podcasts.
Yeah.
I think because we taught people how to break up with people.
Oh. You can fucking sit there and tell me that somebody's actually sitting here watching all of these fucking podcasts?
There's got to be
Just
someone
sit
at
there
iTunes.
and rank them. Like who?
I don't know.
Like how does that work?
I have no idea.
I think they just have an algorithm and they just see what numbers you have, what subjects you talked about, and it just funnels it in.
Oh, they've got an app. Someone sent me the app where you can type in certain words and it'll show those words in what podcast you've said those words. This fucking rain is aggressive.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that rain? Oh, God, is anything worse than driving in the fucking rain in L.A.? Jesus Christ, you'd think it was a goddamn nor'easter out there.
I have a show at Dynasty Typewriter in 2 hours.
Oh, look at you. You going to wax that mustache, buddy?
Yeah. Have you ever performed there?
I love that place.
I've never been there.
It's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of places I've been to perform. I never performed at Largo. I've never performed at Nerdist Melt.
Nerdist Melt?
What is that what's called?
Comedy Meltdown.
Yeah, that's it.
Nerdist at that place doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I missed that opportunity. Yeah, there's a lot of places I've been performing in LA.
It's all right. Well, I think you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Bro, what's going on with you?
Nothing.
Are you unsettled?
No.
Do you feel less than?
Yeah,
Do you feel judged?
always. Yeah, of course.
Now, how much of that is between your fucking ears?
100% of it.
100% of
Barry
it?
Katz once said, I think you think people are talking about you more than they're talking about you. I was like, that is a fucking accurate statement. He goes, how many times have you thought about me today? And I said, not at all. And he goes, that's how many times people think about you. Barry Katz is always
here's
good
the
for
thing,
a couple.
buddy.
Here's the thing, Papa.
Just do whatever the fuck you want to do. As mad as they get, they're going to forget about it.
Be clean.
I did his podcast once.
I did his podcast. I heard that one. That was a great one. It was you just breaking his balls for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and he loved it.
I did his podcast once, and he goes, fucking so Barry. He goes, so when are you going to say out loud that you're an alcoholic? And I was like, wow, this is not as fun as I thought it would be. I was like, never. And he was like, because you all are. No. I get a kick out of Barry. I've always gotten a kick out of Barry, and he's given great advice at times. My only qualm with Barry as a manager is I couldn't get him on the phone. That was it.
Did you use that line?
What?
Bert, this is Barry Katz calling you back from the Carter administration.
Yeah.
Right? He had that line.
Hey,
He wouldn't even switch up the presidency.
this is my impression of Barry.
Buddy, it's Barry. You're going to be a big star. Everything's going to happen for you, Pop. I've seen this before. You just have to hang in there, okay? I'm not going to talk to you again for another 8 months.
Barry Katz.
But know that I'm working for you every single day.
Barry Katz line. This is, by the way, anyone who's his client would know this line. Bear with me for a second, Papa. Give me a sec. And then he'd just go do something, and then he'd come back, okay, what's up? Bear with me for a second.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, he used to say it to me, bear with me for a second. That's a Barry Katz.
I just remember going into his office and he had books on mind control out in the open where you could see it. And it's like, is this part of the mind control?
He
Guy liked a wild shirt too back in the day.
Oh yeah.
He liked he looked like it's like a big Jewish cowboy. Like, he had that rodeo shirt
Yeah.
with the fucking hair. He looked like Wild Bill Cody
He did not look like he sounded on the phone at all.
at all.
I mean, I remember meeting him and going, what the fuck? He goes, I know, I look different than you think I'm going to look.
Yeah.
He gave me the
he
best
looked like
advice.
Triple H.
He looked exactly like Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He gave me some of the best advice. I was going
Best
into
advice, leave me immediately.
I was going into test for a pilot at CBS. I had a deal at CBS, and they didn't want me to test for the pilot. Didn't want me to test for the pilot at all. And then he got me a test, but they had said we don't want him. But he goes, but you're already paying him, just test him. So we go to dinner at Yamashiro. Sits down and he goes, let me tell you a story about Hideo Nomo, the pitcher for the Red Sox, right? Hideo Nomo.
Dodgers. He was a Dodger.
He was originally a Dodger.
Yeah.
Hideo Nomo pitched for the Dodgers and had a great first season. I'm going to fuck this up, but this is the speech. Just bear with me. Had a great first season. And then he did nothing. And he lingered. No one cared. And they traded him to the Red Sox. He didn't think anything was going to happen for his career. That's where you are today. They don't think you can do anything. Hideo Nomo's first game for the Red Sox, do you know what he did? And I said, what? And he goes, he pitched a no-hitter, Papa. You need to go in, no one's expecting anything, and pitch a no-hitter. It was the greatest
That's
advice.
fucking good.
It was greatest advice. I went in, I fucking booked that role, I fucking crushed it, and it was like I have Hideo Nomo jerseys in my house because of that fucking speech. One of the
I
best.
loved his wind-up. That straight leg
Yeah.
all the way back.
Oh, I ended up watching him pitch. He played again, I think, in L.A.
Did you yell, Hideo?
Hideo Nomo!
I booked the CBS pilot because of you!
You're everything to me! Yeah, man, that was, I love a good, that's what I love about coaching. I love a good speech. A good pep talk.
Are you going to see the new Ben Affleck movie?
Yeah, I'm a big Ben Affleck fan.
I am too.
Yeah,
because that's right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah. No one expects anything out of you guys. Oh.
Start tearing up.
Oh my God. Dude, the hardest I've ever cried in a movie, Miracle. When they play Sweden and they lose, and he goes, everyone on the ice, we're running lines or whatever, and they go, froom, 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 again, froom, froom, again, froom, froom, coach, come on. Now the lights go out, chung, chung. Don't worry, I'll close it down. Again, froom, froom. And then he goes, coach, come on, man. He goes, what team do you play for? And he goes, United States of America. Oh my God, I'm sobbing, crying. USA, I play for the USA. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying right now. Oh my God. That was the most emotional, anything good sports, dude. Oh my God, Shoeless Joe Jackson coming out of the fucking cornfield. Oh God, why is it that sports can do that to you? I can watch a rom-com and not cry once.
Because it's real. Sports, all this reality fucking television, sports is the best reality television because it is reality and it's real.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to happen. And there's fights and there's rivalry. There's all that Real Housewife shit going on. It's just between teams. That's why I like it. And I like it that you got to learn how to work with other people. And then you also have, while learning about yourself, and then you got to fucking thinking that you can only go this deep, and you got to dig down even deeper and push through shit. It's very like relatable, and I just think like someone like yourself, who's just trying to get on that elliptical every day, you see the metaphor.
Dude. Man, I'll tell you those. Did you see the?
We got to wrap this up soon.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I got to go fucking play drums like an asshole. Okay, thank you again for watching the Bill
Bert
Pod.
God.
Thank you.